Amaka and Patrick were getting to know each other more in school. They were always seen together. They went to the cafeteria together. They spent break time together. They read together and even did small, fun activities around the school. Neither of them knew about the other's background. They were just two people who found comfort in each other. They became best of friends, moving around like they had known themselves for years. Amaka was happy. Truly happy. For the first time since she entered that school, she felt seen. Everyone else looked down on her, but Patrick didn't. He accepted her just the way she was. And for that, she was grateful. One day after school, Amaka walked Patrick to the school gate like she always did. His car was already waiting. He stepped in, and the driver zoomed off. Amaka turned and began her usual long walk home. But that day, something happened. When she got to a quiet, lonely street, a group of masked people suddenly appeared. Before she could even react, they started throwing cold sachets of water at her. One after the other. Again and again. She screamed, confused, trying to shield herself, but it didn't stop. Within seconds, she was completely soaked, water, dirt, everything. She dropped to her knees on the road. And she cried. She cried so much, not even understanding why this was happening to her. She stayed there for a long time. Until the sun began to go down. Cold, wet, and broken. When she finally stood up, she avoided the main road and followed hidden paths back home. She entered through the backyard, quietly removed her wet uniform, soaked it in water, and went straight to lie down. She didn't want her mother to see her like that. When her mother came back and saw her condition, she panicked. She rushed out, bought balm and some medicine, and came back quickly. She helped Amaka take them and asked what happened. Amaka forced a weak smile and said, "We had swimming today in school." Her mother believed her. Amaka didn't want to think too much. But deep down, she had a feeling. Still, she refused to believe it was Angela and her crew. The next morning, Amaka couldn't go to school. She was very sick. Her mother used her old button phone to call the school and report that she was ill. She was given a few days off. Amaka didn't go to school for 3 days. During those 3 days, Angela and her crew were happy. Very happy. They moved around the school freely, laughing and enjoying themselves. They stayed close to Patrick, always around him, acting playful and overly familiar. Patrick was worried. He noticed Amaka wasn't in school, but he didn't have her number. He didn't even know where she lived. He tried asking classmates, but no one wanted to help. Some even mocked him for asking about a girl like her. Angela used the opportunity to get closer to him. Patrick didn't really like her like that. But she was the proprietor's daughter. And his mother had always wanted him to associate with her. So he didn't push her away. They started spending time together. They got ice cream in school. They sat in the love garden. They read together and talked. Even though Patrick was still worried about Amaka, he slowly got comfortable around Angela. A few days later, Amaka finally returned to school. That same morning, Angela and Patrick arrived together, holding hands like a couple. They came out of the same car. Students were screaming and hyping them. Immediately they entered the class, Patrick saw Amaka. Their eyes met. But Amaka simply looked away. She wasn't surprised. Not even a bit. Classes went on as usual. When it was break time, Angela and Patrick quickly left the class together to hang out. Amaka stepped out quietly on her own. She walked to the school garden, admiring the flowers and trying to clear her mind. Then she heard a voice. "Amaka, where have you been?" She turned. It was Patrick. She tried to walk away, but he gently held her back. "Why didn't you come to school for the past 3 days?" he asked. "I had flu," she replied calmly. Patrick apologized and told her to take care. But before they could talk more, Angela walked in. "What are you doing with her?" she asked sharply. Patrick immediately stepped back. "Nothing," he said. He waved quickly at Amaka and left with Angela. Just like that. Amaka stood there for a moment. She didn't want to think too much about it. But it hurt. Her only friend in school was gone. Taken. The following weeks felt empty. School became boring again. Everything felt like her first day all over. She kept to herself and focused on her books. She didn't want to overthink anything. Until excursion was announced. The school planned a 1-week excursion for the senior students. Students were to be paired, 1 boy and 1 girl. Everyone was excited. Angela secretly hoped she would be paired with Patrick. She even wished she could control the list herself. But before she could do anything, the class teacher had already made the pairings. She walked into the class and began calling names. Pascal and Angel. Students murmured. Then she continued. Patrick and Amaka. The entire class went silent. Angela's face changed instantly. She rolled her eyes. And without saying a word, she stormed out of the classroom in anger.